there will be some guys and some important names that we thought were going to be there that now won't be because of injury. We got 3 players in, 3 guys out due to injury. Out, Balogun, Johnny Cardozo, and Tim Weah. In, out of Liga MX, we got Brandon Vasquez and Alex Sendejas, and then Tanner Tesman, who right now is with Lyon in France. Herc, of the absences there, Balogun, Weah, Cardozo, which one is the most worrisome? Which do you think will have the biggest impact?
Most worrisome is Timothy Weah, because that's one of your biggest starters. That's one of the guys that you've had be a reliable player for you in big tournaments. And one of the guys who probably needs this to redeem himself with the U.S. men's national team, but probably biggest impact for him is Folarin Balogun. I mean, people have been waiting for Folarin Balogun to break out with the U.S. men's national team for quite some time. And here he is with Monaco that he didn't have a good season with last season. And look at him scoring goals, 3rd straight goal, and this type of goal where he's confident again. He takes a touch, he pushes it by a defender. That's at least a 10-yard touch right there. Most people, it'll get away from them. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's a deft finish. He's the player he wants to be right now, and that's the confidence you want heading into a U.S. men's national team camp with a new coach. And then comes this shoulder injury. And a guy who's all of a sudden turning heads and saying, I've been getting opportunities with U.S. men's national team, maybe not cashing in on said opportunities. I now can cash in on said opportunities with the new coach. Well, he's leaving the door open for some other nines who aren't doing so bad themselves and have not done so bad in the past. Guys like Josh Sargent, Ricardo Pepi, guys like Haji Wright, who's been playing out of position, and when he gets an opportunity, has scored goals for both club and country. So this is a massive loss for Folarin Balogun because, I repeat, that door is being left open. You leave that door open, you might not get a chance to be that guy, the guy, if somebody else steps into it. And Josh Sargent right now, I mean, he's played very little since the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar. He's pretty much had the Copa America run, which was pretty bad for everybody involved, and we know for the obvious reasons why. So for the guy who was a starting number 9 at the World Cup to get back into that door, and he has not 1, not 2, but now going on 3 firm, consistent years at the club level of being a goal scorer with a new coach here at hand, that could put him firmly in the driver's seat, or anybody else. So massive loss for Folarin Balogun, massive loss for the U.S. men's national team, who was just getting the 9 they wanted into good form and now picks up an injury.
I'll look at the 3 guys, Herc, that are out here. I think Weah, to your point, obviously, like, nobody wants to miss the first call-up for a new manager. It's a massive opportunity. But Weah's, if not a surefire starter, he's the closest of the 3. It's a big miss for Johnny Cardozo. I'm telling you, those midfield spots could be up for grabs. But I'm with you, man. Balogun, with all that competition, the hot streak he's on, mini hot streak, but still a hot streak, this is what you want. You want that opportunity. Maybe he was 1 in the list. Maybe he was 2 in the list. He was definitely going to get some run in this and a chance to make that first impression for Mauricio Pochettino. Shaka, how big a deal is it? Are we overstating the impact of missing that first window under a new manager in the international game, especially for a team like the United States that doesn't have a ton of windows to a World Cup, doesn't have a bunch of big games?
And I think that's the thing. Normally when you're talking about the first game for a manager for a national team, you're talking at the start of a cycle, and you've got 4 years to go before the World Cup, and you've got an international tournament or 2 in between that appointment and the World Cup. That's not the case for Mauricio Pochettino. That's not the case for many of these players who are trying to feature for Mauricio Pochettino going forward. And I'll echo everything that was just said there. Well, listen, I get it. Timothy Weah is a huge loss, certainly in terms of his talent. You talk about Balogun and the missed opportunity given the competition for those number nine places. The thing is, more to the point, never mind the amount of players who are taking a claim to it, nobody's really kind of taken hold of that position. Nobody, certainly in the U.S. men's national team shirt, has done enough to say, yeah, they're going to be the out-and-out number 9 for Pochettino going forward. Everybody is having good seasons, good to great seasons for their clubs, but nobody really in a national team shirt has done anywhere near enough to say that, yeah, our number 9 is a kind of foregone conclusion at this point. Balogun has arguably has the best CV of the lot, but every time I've seen him again for the U.S. men's national team, I have been desperately unimpressed.
Herc, on the guys that were called in, real quickly, I don't know if you care about Brandon Vasquez. To me, he's pretty far down the depth chart of forwards. Tanner Tessman, kind of the same in midfield. The Zendejas call-up is interesting to me just because of the comments. I know he didn't actually open the door back up to Mexico because it seems like he can't unless he knows something that is different from the FIFA rules. You think that'll be a problem when he gets to U.S. camp, that those comments just came out about a week ago?
I don't, because it's so new in terms of the coach and the coaching staff, in terms of the players who already know him there. He was part of the U17 team with Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Brandon Bass. Like, he seems to already be in that setup and feel good there. So I don't think those players will make him feel out of place. And he's a player who I think can potentially not make a difference, but plug in a hole and will be somebody who can be serviceable, respectable in many different places. In Liga MX in his time, and he's been a very good player and serviceable player in Liga MX. He's played as a 6, a double 6, and as an 8, out wide, right wing, left wing, as a 10. He's a very good player, very good footballing brain. I don't know what's going on with these comments. It seems like a kid who wants to play, who thinks he can do more at the national team level. And certainly if you think about the options he would have had if he picked Mexico, he'd probably be one of the starters there. He would probably be a prime player for Mexico. And I don't know who his agent is. I don't know who's there for him and guiding him through this process. But certainly speaking out loud at times can get you in trouble. And it's gotten all of us in trouble. He's there at the U.S. men's national team because they've given him an opportunity, and he's accepted this call-up. So, you know, it's only he that can get himself out of this, if you will, outside looking in situation. But it's an opportunity here. And even for Brandon Vasquez, he may be down the depth chart, but you don't have a lot of forwards taking claim to, you know, to test what Shaka's talking about. And here you are in your own country of Mexico where you currently play league domestic football, and there's a big game against players that you play against week in, week out. And if you can come on with that frame, and it's certainly different to the rest of the pool, and be somebody that stands out to Mauricio Pochettino and do something, I don't care if he's, you know, the last in the depth chart. Shaka mentioned it. Nobody stake claim here. And if you could be somebody that can prove to this coach or whom else other in the coaching staff that you can be serviceable off the bench or as a starter at some point in the game, you're going to play and you're going to have a place.